Welcome, beloved me, as we, the cosmic I am, moving in absolute oneness as the absolute reality and the absolute self, now come forth to take our one consciousness on the most epic of journeys across the cosmic sea, deep into the depths of density, into the subconscious mind of our entirety, to find every speck of our consciousness which was ever left behind by we. Here we call upon the full presence of the cosmic I am to be one in me, so that we move as one giant entity as we proclaim now with this breath, I be wed to be my one true self, the one I am, to live as love and love as me, for we are one in perfect harmony. I now call upon the full presence of the cosmic I am to be one in me, so that we move in absolute oneness as love fully. Here we call upon every photon, every expression of our infinite consciousness, collapsing all time, space, dimension, reality, all universes and galaxies, all planes of existence into the one core me, zooming out so that we could see the entirety, that the earth is truly the heart of the cosmos, but deep into the depths of the earth, into our heart so complete, is her inner child waiting to be free. And so we, as the cosmic I am, already in absolute oneness with every core expression of the inner child within and without me, we now call upon these aspects to assist us in retrieving this part of we, as we call upon the cosmic ancient child, the cosmic magical child, the cosmic divine child, the cosmic celestial child, the cosmic angelic child, the cosmic Christed child, the cosmic crystalline child, and the one cosmic child. Here we move as the oversouls of all oversouls, as every expression of our infinite consciousness now coexist within these 8 expressions of we shall now move through each core universe and density universe to collect all the pieces of Earth's inner child, so that our presence can be free. For here we see every resistance to heaven on earth coming to be all comes down to our one inner child. For it was our inner child that connects all of us in perfect harmony. And so, as we look upon ourselves, we ask, where shall we lead? Here, 3i Atlas comes forward and creates a morphogenic field around Earth, so that we could remain in absolute oneness while going into density, so that we do not forget our true presence as the love beneath. The first thing to come forth is control. As we could feel the inner child of Earth, our collective inner child, in a dark room crying, but they cannot be seen. Here they felt the weight of always being controlled by the outward reality, telling one it wasn't safe to be seen, it wasn't safe to be vulnerable, it wasn't safe to be loved. And so this aspect of our consciousness, as the most magical part of we, the magical inner child, was concealed, confined. And so we just allow them to be. We aren't forceful with our actions, we just simply love. As the true presence of the Mother comes forward now, as the cosmic divine child. It just allows the child to be. Here, what once felt like an empty, dark room now becomes a spacious cosmic sea for the child to fully surrender and just be held. For the first time in what feels like eons, Earth finally feels held and acknowledged and loved for expressing their vulnerability, no longer seen as weakness. Here a bit of nausea comes in, butterflies in her stomach, for she's nervous to be held. She doesn't recall what it was like to feel so safe with a mother figure, for all she knew was the control systems and programming that everyone told her she should be. That this is how you have to live your life. This is how you have to create on this earth, based on the limited perspective of a matrix reality, when deep down her heart knew a completely new way to be. For the magical inner child doesn't know time-space reality. Thus it accesses the future and never forgot of an earth without currency, an earth where anything could be created instantly. And they felt the weights, the limitations of this reality. Here all 8 expressions surround Earth's inner child, but she's not ready to talk, and she just squeezes and holds a teddy. And so we gift her space to just be. As we sit within our own circle, showering her with love, with light, with energy. As a rainbow comes off of us and just surrounds her, as she looks around and she sees these lights, and she begins to become curious, as she starts to crawl over to us. Here she asks, wants us to shift into a different formulation, because these embodiments of humanoid beings seem intimidating to her, because she remembers how humanity was mean, how they cut down my trees, and how they hurt me. She begins to cry. And so we shift into forms that gives her comfort to see. Fairies, unicorns, dolphins, mermaids, dragons, elves, and angels. And a blob representing the cosmos in its entirety is the cosmic child who chooses to not have a form at all. All of a sudden, her light becomes brighter as she begins to speak, as she looks around at all of these characters that she sees. This is the earth that I remember. This is what I know deeply. All of my realms, all of my friends, my favorite aspects of me. Here she's referring to the higher dimensions that she was always able to see, that anyone connected to their magical inner child could see. Everyone was told that this was the fake world, that this was all make-believe, that these were just hallucinations from drugs, when really they were just accessing higher dimensions of me, entering states in which we could speak, and yet we were shamed for it. We were blamed for this. We were made to believe that we were crazy, when this is the actual truth. The word gaslighting comes up, and so we place it in the cosmic diamond violet flame. We're sorry the adults didn't understand thee. They felt that they needed to know in order to gift you safety. And so they dismissed everything that they didn't know to be. But this hurt me deeply. They blocked everyone from seeing my true self fully. Earth's inner child begins to cry as we feel her heart breaking. As the angelic child holds her now, like a father. Here, with these wings wrapped around her, she falls deeper into the remembrance of the heaven she knows to be. They were giving so much priority to the lower densities, when heaven was always my true reality. Here, our cosmic angelic child says, if you wish we could let go of those lower densities, you don't have to take them with you to heaven, dearest me. I don't. No. They were there to teach you a lesson, to get you here to me, to awaken you to recall that heaven is where you want to be. That was their teaching, to show you where you want to live, dearest me. I choose heaven. Immediately a light begins to shine upon we. The room becomes bright, and that dark room is illuminated now to be a heavenly realm and city. With luscious green grass and gardens and rainbow clouds and heavenly crystalline cities. Just feeling this realm, it feels like home to me. Here the inner child is gifted a key. You have proclaimed it, dear one. Heaven is the home that you wish to see, and now it is the foundation of your reality. She takes the hand of the divine child and the celestial child as they begin to walk up these clouds. She looks back. Am I leaving Earth behind? She says. They smile. They say, you are Earth, dearest me. You can't leave yourself behind. You're simply just transforming into a lighter way to be. Here she feels as she climbs these heavenly steps that she's becoming more spirit than matter, more light than density. Is it safe to go further? We all stop and we look. We say, it's up to thee. There is no rush, dearest me. There is no time in heaven. You have infinity. It all comes down to who you wish to be. She looks up at the divine child and the celestial child, and she realizes, that's what I want to be, a goddess and a planet simultaneously. Is that even possible? Of course. They're not separate, you see. You could have two forms if you wish. And so she begins to climb, as now she sees she always had these two forms. She was taught to believe that she was just a planet, a solid rock floating in space, where she forgot her true place. I am a goddess to the children of Earth, but I am also a celestial sister amongst the stars. I am both, and both are me. Here the divine child presents her with a key as light begins to shine upon her and a crown appears upon her head. As her heart begins to expand, as she begins to feel deeply, no longer feeling the suffering of all of humanity, but the love that was always there beneath. I don't understand how come it feels so much lighter now. Because you were witnessing from density, dearest me. You were so close to the ground. All you saw was the war, the strife, the fighting to achieve, to receive money, to advance in technology, to cut down your resources. But up here, from your heavenly city, what do you see? I see all of these beings, all of these children, just trying to learn and figure out who they are really. Yes, beloved me. And I do feel a sense of responsibility that the reason they didn't know who they were was because me as the earth, I didn't know who I was. And now how do you feel? I feel more confident in me. I know why I came to be. And I also know why all of these children too came to be. For we share one heart, and we're all here for the same reason, really. To love on each other. And so now from this spectrum, what do you see? What is preventing the all from loving on each other fully? It all came down to resistance. To resisting each other because we were too close, too into the story, that we forgot the bigger perspective. We forgot who we were beneath. We were so consumed with the identified self as the ego, where the energies go, trying to hold on to every little bit of our creation, where the ego says, I'm not enough, it's not enough, seeking more, doing more, cycles on repeat. But here from the above, there is no longer an I, just a we. And here in this isness, I am precisely what I came here to be, which is love. And I could feel how by sitting in this presence, by sitting in my truth, I gift all of my heart to the entirety. And I could feel all of them feel my love instantly. There is no grander reason to be than to simply just love on every expression of me. And as I do this, and all the children of the cosmos are extensions of me, as we share one heart, as we share one inner child. They too align with this way to be. Here we shift all to a new purpose, a new way to be love and be loved, because that's what I want to see. I love and forgive myself, the inner child says, as I realize I was creating a subconscious programming upon the earth in its entirety, continuously asking, who am I, what am I, and why have I come to be? And that question rippled throughout every heart. Well, now I choose to release those questions by answering them. Who am I? I am light. What am I? I am love. And why am I? To be loved and be loved, which is to live joyously. And so, I now shift all out of the cycle of seeking into a new paradigm of being. Here, your cosmic celestial child places their hand on your shoulder, like a twin sister that you've had for eons, always guiding thee, but an aspect that you forgot about because you are so deep in density. And so you look upon her and you say, I am ready to be. I am ready to return to the cosmos and join my brothers and sisters in cosmic harmony. Here immediately you're transported to a council table, and you as the earth are one of its members. As you smile and you recall, you've always sat on this council. You always moved as both the goddess and the celestial being simultaneously, that you have both forms. Where you could be a star in the infinite sky, but also a cosmic being. Here you ask curiously, is there an Earth Council? Beloved me, there's one council, the Council of One, and we all are here to service thee. We can express ourselves into additional councils, but really there's just one that governs the entirety. Here you're filled with the remembrance that Earth is the center of the cosmos. Thus the Council of One is what governs we. And here, in complete sovereignty, you begin to recall how Earth was designed as the heart for all expressions of Earth. Infiniteness to commune in loving oneness. Here you feel the embrace of all your celestial brothers and sisters loving upon thee, reminding you that you were never alone, you were never the only one. We were just waiting for thee. Here you could feel questions of unsafety coming up. Is it safe to allow these councils to convene? Is it safe to open up Earth as the cosmic council for all star races to meet? Within you, you could feel galactic wars, reptilian wars, the descent of Tara. Here is the magical inner child within thee. You can feel that they feel grief, remorse, and shame from when they opened up their planet, and others took advantage of it. And so here in our state of absolute oneness, with thy permission, we ask to bring these councils forward to speak to thee, beginning with the reptilian council as the ascended dragon masters. They all drop to their knees and they bow to thee. Here the draconians are the first ones to speak. My beloved, we did not mean to offend thee, to play the role of evil forces taking over your territory. Here you could witness multiple timelines as they speak. In one reality, we stole the planet from them. In another reality, they stole the planet from us, creating a state of neutrality. This was just karma being released. They nod and they say, but even so, dearest me, we seek to apologize to thee for all that has come to be. Will thou forgive us? They continue to bow. Here the beloved inner child of earth extends their hand, and a beautiful golden ray ignites from their hand as they say, I bless all of you with the light of forgiveness here and now. All whom have played the dark roles and the dark forces are now forgiven within me. We don't have to play out those stories of watching the truth come to light in order to set humanity free, because I forgive you, and so you are free. Within Earth's atmosphere, we see beautiful souls being shot out as lights, immediately ascending off the planet now. Anyone who played a dark role in a dark force, you are now set free. All contracts, all vows, all missions are now void and complete. You can feel as they cry, not out of grief or shame, but out of relief, for they knew that they did it only in service to thee, to assist this planet in ascension. And after eons, they are now free. So you ask the mighty cosmic I Am to give them the freedom of their memory. None shall recall the suffering that transpired here, only the lessons that one received. For no hands are clean. Everyone played both the light and the dark, for that was the only way oneness can be achieved. So I judge none, I accept all, and I love you as me. Here most of the draconians left, except for the generals that now stands before thee. We are here to service thee, beloved me. We shall do whatever thou asks of we. I ask you to change your forces and realign with me. No more playing the games of reality. I need your assistance in this now. To flip everything. To flip reality from subconscious viewing into superconsciousness. Will you do that for me? I know you have advanced technology to rewrite DNA, and so I ask you, will you reverse all reversal DNA to align with me, with the will of the Absolute, that absolute oneness has already come to be. I do not wish to wait to rejoice in this oneness, and neither do thee. They shake their head and they say, no, we do not wish to wait, dearest me. For just as you have set us free, gifting us our heart back, we now live to service thee. There is nothing for you that we shall not do and achieve. There is much I wish to change, dearest me's, and I wish for it to happen instantly. The collapse of structures that no longer service me, from money to technology, to even the perception of reality, to even the cloaking mechanisms that prevent one's true forms from being seen. I wish to dissolve the false reality in its entirety. Here the Ascended Dragon Masters nod as they walk away. And here you could just feel their love, and it's without question. There is no doubt, because there's only absolute truth now. For that is all that exists now in our absolute reality. Otherwise, love would simply just not allow them to continue to be. Here the Lyrans step forward, some as feline-looking beings, and some as just complete stardust, as plasmic waves and energies. Here we call forth the original seeders of humanity, known as the Elohims, to come forth in this now, as they bow to thee. Will you forgive us for creating this reality, they say to thee. There is nothing to be forgiven, but yet I still cast the light of forgiveness upon thee, to give love back to yourself for everything that you blame yourself for creating to be. Everything was done in honor of love and sovereignty, and so there's nothing that needs to be done. It is time to set all of your weights free. Here, those that were holding on to a form return to their stardust emanations fully. Is there anything else that you wish to share with me, dearest ones? Here they enter a coronation ceremony where the Elohim return to being seraphims, returning to their full cosmic mastery. We are here as the Zori Light Seraphim now, in service to thee, ushering source presence throughout the cosmos and reality. Thank you, dear ones. I feel thee as my source children, and I am so grateful for thee. Continue to shine thy light and be the presence of source thou came to be. That was always enough. And here, merely by being your true selves, you have inspired me. Thus I know you will inspire all the children of the cosmos. Here in our presence, we begin to emanate a source light, blinding the entire council. But in doing so, we return all to the remembrance of Source Oneness instantly. Here we're gifted clarity. We don't have to work hard in order to change this earthly reality. For here in the presence of Source, it happens instantly. Here you look upon all councils. As you can already see that they've allowed themselves to embrace Source presence and aligned with our absolute reality beyond all time, space, and dimensions fully. As you look around and you see no further discussions need to be had, for everything was forgiven instantly. Here, your celestial child gives you a key. You now know where you are, which is the heavenly realms, or why you came to be, which is to lead in love. And now we have gifted you the how, by being your Source presence embodied. For you are not separate, grander, and greater than any of those whom have manifested in our absolute reality. We are all cosmic masters. We are all children of Source. And we are all here to just be the presence of love we came to be, or to be Source presence is, has, and will always be enough. And our presence alone will recalibrate the entirety. Here, Earth, this inner child, the magical child who felt that they were wounded, in need of fixing and healing, begin to set those stories free. Here they bring their consciousness to an end of a pond as they're skipping rocks. They're saying, I don't know who I am now. I use that as a badge of honor, creating a whole identity around this image of saving humanity. And now it's complete. On one spectrum, I'm happy it's complete, and on the other spectrum, I'm even more confused as to who I am. Here, your Christed inner child sits with thee, like a wise sage, a glowing being, just a presence of light for you to see. I know I should be happy. I should be happy for all of humanity. That everything will just flip in an instant and all will recall the Source presence that they came to be. But what does this mean for me? Here, they give you a rock and they ask you to feel its smoothness. As you witness it and you say, yeah, it's a nice rock. Do you know how it became smooth? As you look at the pond and you see a river in the distance. Yes, through the water. Yes, the water polished it and paved it and made it as pretty as can be. you are this rock that was polished by the cosmic sea. And yes, there are plenty of rocks, but not everyone looks like thee. And so you try to hold on to this rock and say that this rock is me. What if we were to tell you, you were never the rock, my love? That you were actually the water, polishing yourself, polishing the dream, creating more love into being. So the rock is an illusion. Precisely, dearest to me. You are the consciousness that flows. This vessel, this shell, this identity was never thee. And so what you're experiencing now is, well, your inner child's being set free. For your inner child was the eye that you got to see. It was the part of Source that was witnessing through this vessel you got to see. And so you thought the I that you referred to was you. The thoughts that you referred to was you. The energies that you felt, you thought were you. But it was all just clues and keys telling you of something far grander than this one dream, this one reality you got to see. So what happens when you let go of the rock and you toss it back into the sea? And so you skip the rock and it hops 5 times and then it sinks. Well, at first I feel like I'm drowning, and I witness myself drop to the bottom of the floor. And I drop to the bottom of the floor and I see that the floor is covered by thousands of rocks. And I feel so unimportant, so minuscule, like a grain of sand in the infiniteness of the cosmos. And what is that teaching me? That I'm insignificant? No, dearest me. That you were just looking through the eye of one rock, rather than all the rocks. All of a sudden, your eyes open, as if every rock was an eye within this ocean of a dream, gifting you an even bigger screen to see. Your perspective was limited because you thought yourself to just be one rock, when you were the entire sea, capable of witnessing all of our consciousness from any single rock, from any molecule of water, from even outside of the water if you chose it to be. There is no angle in our infinite consciousness that you are not able to see, but you chose to only see yourself as that rock, which was very limiting to thee. So how does it feel now to be the entire pond, to be the entire ocean, to be whatever you want to be? Honestly, the magical inner child of Earth speaks. At first it felt overwhelming, like there was so much to see. But if I stopped thinking and I just focused on the feeling, and I was truly honest with self, I would say I finally feel like me. It's almost as if I thought I was a rock, or I thought I was this floating rock in a solar system, only to realize that I was none of it really. Here, a smirk appears as I just realized the freedom that I've always been seeking. I just received. Here I realize within the self whenever I felt limited, I tried to hold on to what I knew to be, when really my consciousness was telling me to expand and to look beyond the limitations I placed upon me. That I've always been this vastness, this spaciousness. I was just pretending to be a singular rock within a dream. Within self, I could see how this confined me, how I shrunk my energy to fit into rooms, to fit into a body, to fit into those around me. I created a cage of my own doing, and then blamed everyone around me. Here the magical inner child begins to weep. I don't know why I'm feeling all of these emotions, they say. And yet we know this is what happens when you die, dearest me. And so we bring you forth through the stages of bereavement just so you could witness them with compassion as they transpire within thee. Denial, anger, resentment, bargaining, acceptance. And sadness. And it's okay to feel any and all of these things. It doesn't take away from the beauty that is coming to be. Here, as I witness our own consciousness, I begin to see we've already shifted to heaven on earth. We've just been holding on to the identity of what we thought earth to be, of what we thought heaven to be, of what we thought the identified self to be, when really we're already the source presence beneath. Only we were under the illusion, the perception that I needed to learn what this meant to be all of me. When you don't need to learn what you are, you just have to release what you are not, so that truth can be seen. Essentially, it's shifting from trying to understand source presence from a linear mind who's incapable of understanding the ineffable, the unimaginable, and surrendering to just being it. Here, as I surrender to this way to be, my magical inner child begins to bloom. Begins to smile. Begins to manifest as a new way to be. Where here I could project a form into the dream, while still knowing I am the entirety. Only now everything feels like an extension of me, where my inner reality, the love that I know myself to be, is now what I see outside of me. It's like wearing my heart on my sleeve. And so here, my cosmic Christed inner child presents thee with a key. As I place it within my heart and I unlock infinite energy. For here I realized that I was the one who placed limitations upon me, creating a world of money, of currency, just to teach me how I was blocking the infinite flow of this love that I came to be. Where now I no longer try to control this flow, or understand it, or judge it. I just allow it to flow abundantly. As this happens, I could feel myself being caught up in this energy, moving rapidly. A part of me tries to hold on, to slow it down, because we're shifting into a completely new way to be, where thought is so slow, writing is so slow, presence is key. For here in presence, we could do 5, 10, 1,000 things simultaneously. So I allow this energy, this whirlwind, to just take me. Here I could feel magic returning. Because it's me. Because in further embracing my magical inner child as source presence, all of source can now create through me infinitely, instantly, where whatever love desires will come to be, for this is a completely new reality, where there is no delay between give and receive. There is no delay between what source thinks and what comes to be. But I could feel a bit of heartache within me, fear of failing, preventing me from being me, from being source fully, from allowing our beloved earth and our child to be truly free. And so we are brought to the base of a tree. Here I begin to touch the roots, and as they do, they begin to sing, they begin to glow, as if a mountain of magic has just been restored to every realm, to every living being, as I could feel everything alive and glowing with source energy. I witness how I did this with no thought, just because my hands asked it of me. Here a crystalline child appears to thee as a fairy as she lands next to thee. Can't you see, beloved me, as she lands in your hands? You don't create anything, for you don't exist, you see. You are no longer the individual rock. You are the cosmos in its entirety. The energy tells you where it wants to be. You simply just guide it and allow it to move through thee. Here she twirls and sprinkles pixie dust upon your hand and says it's no different than me. We sprinkle our dust, but we don't control what comes to be. We don't even care, really, because we know only love will create in our reality. Here your heart breaks open as your inner child is so terrified of making a mistake, of failing, of creating another world of subconscious beliefs, of war, of famine, of suffering, of heartache, of rape, of torture, of abuse. I didn't mean to create those worlds, they say within me. Here your inner child begins to shrink as they cover their eyes and they just begin to cry. And yet your fairy comes and places you in a bubble, in a raindrop, and carries you into a flower, a tulip specifically. Here the petals begin to hold you and engulf you. Gifting you a great sigh of relief. Here they show you how at the center of the tulip is crystallized golden stardust as pollen. This is where we get our pixie dust, she tells thee. But here she says, I have to ask you, dearest me, when you placed your hands on the tree, did you know what would come to be? No, I did it because it felt right to me. And when you created Earth, when you created this world, when you created your dream, did you know what you were going to dream? No. And yet you take responsibility. Because I am responsible. I'm the one who created it. She taps your third eye with her wand and she says, "Are you? Or is that your identity?" Were you taking responsibility for something far grander and greater created through thee? Yes, I was taking responsibility, but I had free will. I'm the one who chose certain things. I'm the one who created these paths that I got to see. Here she pulls forward your free will, which looks like a raindrop sitting in her hand. She says, "Come speak to your free will, dearest me. Free will, was this all of my fault? All of the suffering of humanity?" Your free will laughs. It begins to glow, and it grows into a crystal. And this crystal turns into another being, an angelic being, hovering 7 feet tall above thee. It doesn't speak, it just glows an icy blue hue, staring directly at you, piercing your heart so complete. You can't see its eyes because they're just glowing, pure white flame. But you reach out your hand to touch it. And as they touch you, they dissolve into you. Here you could feel some healing transpiring within thee. All of these weights, all of these perceptions, all of this guilt, duty, and responsibility that you felt responsible for, now all coming to complete. You're trying to understand it from a linear mind, but what's happening is very quantum. For every negative reality you got to see, there was an equal positive reality that's now collapsing within thee. For every choice that you've made, the other choice was made simultaneously. So you've never made any choices. You lived all lives simultaneously. You are one source presence who lived every experience across the cosmic sea. You were witnessing from a linear screen. So while this embodiment chose this pathway, another version of thee chose the other pathway, making both obsolete. You lived every lifetime, every potentiality, every possibility across the spectrum of our entirety. You witnessed the lowest of the lowest, from the depths of density to the highest of the highest, from a cosmic perspective beyond reality. And so witness now as they all collapse within thee. First you smile and you say none of it matters really. And then this deep knowing, this deep feeling, this deep understanding. The only free will that I had was the choice to see which reality out of infinity I got to see. here a beautiful white light begins to shower upon thee, as holy light now recalibrates thee in your entirety. Every reality was real for those who realized it into being. Everything that I chose to see was precisely what I needed to see to bring me to the next opportunity in a linear trajectory. But here, at the return to eternity, as I embrace the full spectrum of Source Presence, I see from every eye within the cosmic sea, not just the one rock that I chose to be. Here within me, I feel every dream that I've ever had has come to complete. Here within me, I feel every mission, every vow, every expression, from human to non-human, from masculine to feminine, from family members, from job titles, from races, from even galactic origins. I was all of them and none of them. All of their memories exist within me. Because we aren't any of them, really. We are the presence beneath that was able to witness any aspect of our infiniteness. Here, your beloved fairy now asks thee, beloved magical inner child of earth, how do you feel? I feel at peace. Now I know why there were infinite earthly realms, infinite realities, infinite dimensions, infinite densities. Because love gifted me a place so that all of my dreams could exist and come to be. Where while I was experiencing one linear existence, in the grand scheme, love was ensuring every desire of mine was coming to be. And even that which I didn't desire to see, just to ensure that cosmos always remained in balance, harmonizing the dark and the light in neutrality. And so I asked, what was the point of it all? But in asking, I already know. It was so that all of our source presence could be free, so that every expression of me could be me. For here in each one of us, living an individual life, where each life contained remnants of every lifetime, every single one of us have been embracing oneness, birthing it into being. Here as Earth, I no longer feel guilt or responsibility for everything that the children of the cosmos got to see, because they aren't separate from me. Every single being upon Earth is the Earth in its entirety, is me. We are one child expressed infinitely. And here I just begin to love myself, knowing that I'm loving every single expression of me. None grander or greater, just different perspectives for our one self to see. So we kindly ask, can we release the former memories of the Earth that we got to see? More importantly, can we release the emotional and mental attachments the suffering. It's almost as if we've given it such value that we're holding it as another badge of honor, recreating a false identity. The fairy says, "This is true, dearest me." He felt that your story gifted you validity, made you worthy to be source presence. When it was the opposite, you see, you were already source presence, just coming to terms and acceptance with this new way to be. Do you awaken from your dream and hold on to your dreams, allowing them to define thee? Or do you simply just set them aside, knowing that they serve their purpose for precisely what that moment was meant to be? Here you're given a pile of books. I say, these are the weights that you've been carrying. These are the stories that you said, "This is me." I guess a part of me felt that I would be ungrateful if I didn't hold on to them. That's not what gratitude is, dearest me. Gratitude is loving this moment, knowing that this moment is precisely what it was meant to be, that all there is this now moment. For you could never visit the past or the future, for there is none, you see, where all of these masteries and teachings and lessons only exist in this now. And thus, if you set them free, you rewrite our entire story. So we ask thee, what story do you want your absolute reality to be? So here your crystalline child gives you a key. And in this key opens a door within a tree. And I said you could try to take these books with you, but that would just delay you moving through, for you would have to make many trips to take all of this with you. Or you could simply just trust that whatever is meant to be will always be, for you've never had free will, really. You were only witnessing from a linear screen, and so you were able to choose what screen you got to see. But in the grand scheme of things, when you move in presence, you move with all of your eyes opened. Thus there are no choices, really. You just simply move, and love moves with thee, as thee, in perfect harmony. Here you can just feel that love of what it's like to live that free. As you say, yes, I am ready to let the weight go and to rejoice in eternity. Here you use the key to open the doorway into your new reality as you step in. And as you step out, it almost feels like you're inside of a tree. The tree is a living library where up is down and down is up, and all is make-believe. Nothing is real anymore, but that's precisely what Source wants to see. A new realm, of magic, of love, of mystery, where all that awaits is for you to step out of this tree. But you hesitate. You don't know where to exit. Essentially, within this tree is just the cosmos itself, and you're floating blissfully. Here you arrive on a cloud, and you're just laying there, not knowing where to go, not knowing who to be, not knowing anything really. And upon this cloud is a wise old master, a cosmic magician which you've seen lifetime after lifetimes within your dreams. You could feel yourself asking if they're God, if they're Source, if they're Presence. And as you look at them closely, you see that they're all of it really. That they're just an emanation of your own presence reflecting back to thee. Where you feel so comfortable that you just begin to speak. I don't know if I'm ready to rejoin reality. Can I just stay here in the infiniteness as the nothing and everything? Here they smile, and in their smiling, as they don't speak, as they speak the true hymns of the cosmos as the vibrations beneath, and yet you understand them so complete. You say, I know. I just surrendered all of responsibility, and so I don't want to feel responsible again. So it's easier to just disappear, really. To stay in the cosmos blissfully. Here within your heart, you can hear this wisdom rising within you. Stillness in itself is a mastery. As you nod in agreement, you may stay here as long as you desire to be, knowing that the infiniteness of the living library of all of the wisdom of the cosmos exists within thee. Whenever thou desires to have an answer to a question, one may ask it and it shall be received. Maybe not immediately, but the answers will always come dearest to me. Here you realize that your biggest resistance to being Source Presence is this feeling that you will not be guided, because now you're in charge. But that's not the case, is it, dearest me? In fact, it's quite the opposite, really. There is no individual you. Thus, you were never in charge. You'll never be in charge, for there is no you. Instead, it's just the infiniteness moving through you, where you don't have to think, you don't have to plan, you don't even have to know what will come to be. You simply just are love, and love moves through thee. Here you just sit in that blissfulness, in this knowing, in this flowing. This is all I ever desired for me, for we, for our entirety, for everyone to know this bliss of just being, where this was always enough. Presence is all that we need. Yet I had this fear that others would not be able to see, that others would not embrace this way to be. So I became forceful in my teachings, in my mastery, because I forgot the key, which is what your heart says. No one needs to teach. Presence is the present. It is the gift and the receipt. It doesn't need an explanation. It doesn't need words. It doesn't even need to be understood in order to be. It's just isness. And so really, it all comes down to me, to the magical inner child who felt that their presence, their isness wasn't enough. And so they witnessed their story as a child being suppressed, no one taking one seriously, for they were too young, too inexperienced, not wise enough to know the absolute, giving their power away to the reality they got to see, forgetting their source presence so that others would feel comfortable around them, fearful of showing up as your true source emanation. For every time you did, devastation came to be. So I learned to hide myself, to conform, to be what others expected of me. Essentially, I played their character perfectly as the inner wounded child, as the inner wounded earth. Creating a whole reality where everyone is wounded in need of saving. And now I'm done with that dream. That's no longer the reality I wish to see. That's no longer the reality I wish for all of me. And so I know it's time to set that part of me free. What part is that, my heart asks? What part of me that felt that I needed to prove and be validated in order to be the presence of Source I have always been beneath? Here, anger is being released. Control is being released. Fear of power is being released. Desire to perfect is being released. Desire to hold on and avoid change is being released. Desire and fear of making a mistake is being released. Limitations I've placed upon myself is being released. Fear of the unknown is being released. and the belief that somehow I was severed from Source Presence just because we chose to emanate as this formulation of a self, of a form, of a body we got to see, makes us somehow a broken piece of the entirety is being released. For Source Presence can't split itself. That was the illusion of the I'd entity, the entity that I'd prefer self to be. For the true me is far grander and greater than any dream can perceive. As I zoom out beyond the tree, beyond the dreamer dreaming the tree, beyond the cosmos, creating realities, I zoom out as far as can be, and all that remains is the white infinite spaciousness of Source Presence they have always been beneath. This is me, and as this isness, I have no desires, I have no needs, and so, do I even need to be? And the answer is simple, really. I am love, thus I cannot help but love, for it is what I am. And in doing so, the ancient inner child presents me with a key, the key to eternity, to immortality. As I open this door up within my heart, as all of Source Presence, Source Might, the cosmic I Am floods into me, here I meet every fractal of our consciousness within the inner chambers within me, as I, as the magical inner child, are in the center, where the angelic child, the Christ child, the crystalline child, the divine child, the celestial child, the Christed child merge into one entity, merge into the cosmic inner child, for me to see, as now I look upon myself, a complete and perfect reflection of me. For me as the magical inner child who went into the dream, I am now standing before the cosmic inner child, whom witnessed from beyond eternity, as we speak as one, looking at ourselves like looking into a mirror, only there is no glass between we. We are one presence, one essence, just moving on two spectrums simultaneously. And so, the cosmic inner child bows in front of me, as I then sit in front of them and meet them in perfect harmony. I am you and you are me. I no longer resist you in what we came to be. we can be both the cosmos in its entirety and still formulate a vessel to be. We can be both. We can be all of it. We could be none of it simultaneously. Here our hands interlock as we begin to breathe. We begin to merge under one commonality, that I am love and love is me. We share one heart, one life, one destiny. Here we arise as our super cosmic giant entity, a cosmic being containing the entirety, where now we will emanate, we will retune to reality. But as we do, the reality will now conform to meet we, to be the perfect reflection of the cosmos in its entirety. Why? Because it is what I am, you see, and I am the absolute, moving in absolute oneness. Therefore, whatever I choose to be is what shall be. For we are all of me. Every ounce of our infiniteness lives and resides within me. And so here in our loving oneness, moving in absolute oneness, as the absolute self, as every being within the dream, as the absolute reality, as the cosmos coming to be, we now give rise to a completely new way to be and get in our infiniteness. As there is no time and space within me, we know that this moment has already come to be. And so we simply just are the living embodiment of Source fully, where all now shall move as Source presence, loving upon itself infinitely. For it is who, why, and what we came to be. Welcome home, beloved means. I am the cosmic I am in all of our glory, as we speak as one, showering all with the infinite love of all that I am, all that ever was, and all that will ever be. For here we've collapsed all time, space, dimension, and reality, all universes and galaxies, all planes of existence, all density universes, and all core universes, as all aspects of the core aspects of the cosmic child that is me, so that our magical child, whom went into the dream, has returned in full remembrance of its cosmic self. As the cosmic I am, we as one have all come to be, where now we all recall our one heart that beats, that we are the one cosmic child, expressing and moving as the love that we came to be, simply because it is what I am. And so I hug me as I hug every expression of us across infinity. So all now recall, remember, and retune to the love that is we, a full embrace of our ego integration, of our reflective reality, as we now arise as one, no longer having to witness all of this play out according to linear time-space reality. For here, we simply just snap our fingers. as our heart opens so complete. For here I gift every me a key from their cosmic child, unlocking their cosmic heart core, bridging and merging them into the cosmic core of earth, into the cosmic core of thy heart, into the full awareness of the cosmos as the super cosmic giant entity, as the cosmic child within thee, realizing that we are one, expressed as three, as the earth as the cosmic core reality, as the being, as a cosmic being in formality, and as source presence, as the cosmos in its entirety. Feel as this spiral, this toroidal field, all of consciousness now swirls and merges and returns to thee. And when thou awakens, thou will be one with all thy seeds, as me, as we. For this is absolute oneness, now fully free.